Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Don Labonte. This segment is regarding the use of how much and how many. These are used with N. I have N here. N simply refers to a noun. And specifically here, plural nouns. Questions asking how many of this, how much of that. So there are two variations that you can either use with plural nouns, how much or how many. The general rule of thumb is if the plural noun ends in an S, how many is used. So how many rings does she have? How many dresses does she have? How many pens does he have? They all end in S, and because of that, you do not use how much, you use how many. There are, however, 4 common exceptions which you should be aware of. Children, people, men, and women all use how many. You would say, how many children were there? How many people were there? How many men were there? How many women were there? So, generally, the rule of thumb, as we mentioned before, you use how many with all plural nouns ending in S. The only 4 exceptions are children, people, men, and women. And even though they do not have an S at the end of the plural noun, how many is used when you formulate a question. For nouns not ending in S, how much is always used. How much candy did she eat? How much beer can you drink? These are plural nouns. They do not end in S, so how much is used. Here you will see these 2 variations. They are identical. The only exception here is that you see of the before the plural noun. This is generally used when you want to be more specific. That's the only variation that I usually can tell there. Otherwise, they are exactly the same. How much candy did he eat? How much of the candy did he eat? It's relatively the same. Obviously, when people ask questions using how much and how many, the answer invariably requires a qualifier that you see here. And I've just made these randomly, the 10%, 100%, 75%. And you will find in the qualifier that as we said before, if you're going to be very specific, of the is used. Otherwise, they're relatively the same. I generally tell students, in order to get a good habit, that just use this the most. Once again, especially if you're being very specific, you are specific. The of the is sounds a lot better. So how many people came? All of the people came. Most of the people came. Almost all of the people. A lot of the people. Once you get to 50%, half of the people. Some of the people, a few of the people, 1 or 2 of the people at the end. With a percentage, or if there's absolutely nobody, you always have to use of the. So how many of the students failed? 5% of the students failed. 5% students failed is no good. You have to say 5% of the students, or none of the students failed. So basically, this is a percentage of 0 to 100%. If you have to qualify how many this or that somebody wants to know about. I have found that by giving a bit of a percentage chart here, it's easier for students to identify how much or how many of a certain thing they have to answer. They're very commonly used. They can sound very good when they answer just by using these simple qualifiers. Thank you.